Now, with the Premier League returning tonight, it means the countdown is on for fantasy football managers to pick their squads for the upcoming season. I've been doing mine this morning, Pete. Left it late.
I literally came in this morning like crack of dawn, and he was busy doing this. Unbelievable. Mind you, I still might change mine. Look, it does drive you a little bit potty as we head towards the start of the new season. But we've been asking you to send us your latest fantasy drafts, plus any last-minute dilemmas you might have. Loads of you been in touch.
Yeah, and we also promised you we'd be joined by two experts as part of our new fantasy football feature. I've got my pen and notebook ready. We're joined by them now. It's Holly and Mark. Very good morning to you guys. Holly, let's start with you. For anyone who hasn't played the game before, if anyone hasn't played the game before, what type of players do you need to have in your squad?
Well, the key currency in FPL is goals, assists and clean sheets. So you need to be picking up players that can get you those. So obviously your strikers. And then for midfielders, you're better off choosing the attacking wingers. And then in defence, going for those flying fullbacks that can get you attacking returns and clean sheets.
Yeah, good shout, Holly. And Mark, I guess it's obvious, but for people watching at home, that the type of players you want to avoid, I guess you're looking at defensive midfielders and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Defensive midfielders, your N'Golo Kantes, your Rodris, your Højbjergs. Stay away from those guys when it comes to fantasy Premier League. And I like to avoid the promoted teams to begin with as well. Just wait and see on those guys and see where the gems are.
Good shout. David Fulton next to me has got three, I repeat, three Nottingham Forest players in his squad.
Yeah, that's because I'm a Forest fan, Mark, and we've got to show some loyalty. There's got to be a little bit of that as well. But Holly, let's get to the must-have players then.
So Mohamed Salah was the first name on my team sheet this season. He's won the Golden Boot in 3 of the last 5 seasons. He also got the Playmaker Award for the most assists as well. So he's got to be the one to go for in your attack. And then it's those flying fullbacks that we've mentioned already as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold and João Cancelo were among the top 5 players for FPL points last season, and they provide much better value than your premium midfielders and strikers.
Yeah, slightly concerned. I don't think either me or Fultz had Salah. This is why I think I might change mine, because I've gone with Son, but it's one of those difficult ones. Look, we're going to show you a graphic of the highest owned player in fantasy football right now. I don't think this is a big surprise. It's Arsenal's Gabriel Jesus. Mark, why do you think he's been so popular?
Quite a few reasons. He's underpriced, great fixtures and a great pre-season, so I think he's just an easy pick, yeah. Crazy ownership, but it's justified.
OK, we've asked you to both send us your latest drafts. Holly, let's have a look at yours then. Talk us through it.
So it's a flexible 4-4-2 or 5-3-2 formation based on who's got the good fixtures, because I have taken a few punts in there. This Leicester goalkeeper pairing has emerged, given that Kasper Schmeichel has gone to Nice. So we've now got 2 4 million goalkeepers at Leicester battling for that spot. So I've picked them both up. I think Danny Ward is going to be the one that gets the game time consistently. Maybe not in game week 1 so much, but I've picked them both up because they look like bargains. I've gone with both Liverpool fullbacks as well, because I'm tipping them to have another great fantasy season. 14 attacking returns for each of them last campaign. And then I've doubled up on the Arsenal attack. Everyone's got Gabriel Jesus, so I've got Saka in as well. So hopefully I can get a little bit of an advantage on my rivals, remembering that Arsenal have got the best fixtures for the start of the season. And I've gone with Harry Kane as my second premium player, just because of that fixture for game week 1. Southampton at home. I couldn't turn it down. Maybe I'll swap to Haaland in game week 2. Let's see what happens.
OK, we'll go straight on to yours, Mark. What are you saying about yours?
Yeah, looking at a 4-4-2, obviously quite a few similar picks in there. The things I'm struggling with today, Perisic, on the fence whether to go Perisic or not. 8 million midfielders has been really tricky on Kulusevski or Mason Mount. Mount at the moment could be Kulusevski, could be Luis Diaz. And the big question everyone has up front, do you go Kane for Southampton or do you go Haaland with that Bournemouth fixture in game week 2? So at the moment it's Kane here, but like Holly, I think there's a good chance that could become Haaland before the deadline this evening.
You're not going to believe this, guys, right? I mean, with no shame whatsoever, David Fulton got his mobile phone out while you talked to your teams and took a picture of your two teams, and he's going to, like, copy. I can't believe what I've seen.
No, I didn't say I was going to copy, but I've been really bad at this over the last few years, and I get annihilated by my kids, by my family, and in the end I give up kind of probably before the January window.
I didn't know what he was doing. He was leaning over the desk. We've got a little monitor with the output. He's leaning over the desk, straight taking photos. He wasn't happy with the first one. It was a bit blurry. He took another one.
Got to learn from the best. So I'm going to note that. I'm going to be much more scientific, and it starts with, with a bit of blatant plagiarism.
Whose team are you going to copy, Fulls?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to go back and study it, aren't I? But these
get rid of those Forest players to begin with.
No, I'm not doing that. We'll work those guys in.
Interesting, you both got a Perisic, though you said that might change. But he has been a bit of a popular pick for fantasy football managers. Why do you think that might be?
So I think, given the fact he's 5.5 million and he's got the potential to deliver what Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson have over the last few seasons. I mean, I've had him in, the tournament fantasy football, the World Cups before, and he's been a midfielder. So to see him as a defender is strange, but Conte's managed to galvanise him into that full-back slot, and I think that he's going to be getting goals for our teams and assists and clean sheets. We know how attacking Conte's wing-backs are in that system at Spurs, so I'm very excited to own him for the season ahead.
Yeah, well, we've got him, I think, in our teams as well. Let's hear what the man himself, Ivan Perisic, has had to say.
I hope that I'm gonna be without injury, and then everything is possible. Last season, I scored like a wing back. I scored 10 goals, 10 assists. I hope that I can do the same season.
Well, Brighton goalkeeper Robert Sanchez is priced at 4.5 million. He's also a popular choice amongst fantasy managers. This is what he had to say about that.
I think they need to put the price a bit higher. But no, I think for what I hear, I got quite good numbers last year. So everybody put me there again. I'll do even better this one.
So, Mark, Sanchez in your squad. Why have you chosen him?
Yeah, good to hear those comments. Bit of confirmation bias. Just good price, 4.5. Like he says himself, he should be higher. So he rotates quite well with Ward at Leicester. Looks like Ward might start the season as Leicester's number one. So you can play Ward when he's got a good fixture, and then play Sanchez. They rotate quite well with those fixtures.
Right, so this is the bit we've been looking forward to. We want to, well, you guys as the experts, to sort of look at our teams and see who's got the better team. I'll go with Dave. Can we go with David Fulton's first? Let's have a look at David Fulton's.
Mark's going to slaughter this team. Holly, go gently, but...
Here we go.
Yeah.
Notably, guys, I'm not taking a photo of this. I just want to point that out.
So, yeah, go on. 3 Forest players, Mark, for starters. So you're getting rid of those. I mean, I've got no Manchester City players. My rationale for that was that you never quite know what Pep's going to do in terms of his rotation, albeit Haaland will probably start. I'll grant you that. But, no Chelsea and only 1 Liverpool player in there as well. So some controversial selections.
What do you think? Holly, what do you reckon of that?
Well, I do think if you are going for a Forest player, then Neco Williams is the one to go for, because he's been priced to be a substitute at Liverpool, got the transfer, and now he's going to be a wing-back in the Forest system. So that's a great place to start. I mean, I don't mind the punt on Brennan Johnson either. I think Coutinho and Bailey is maybe too much of a double-up on the Aston Villa attack. I think Bailey's going to be fantastic value. I think you could maybe move Coutinho on to someone else. But you've got a lot of key players in there, but I would love to see João Cancelo in your squad as well.
OK, you need a Cancelo in there. And Mark, if you wouldn't mind talking us through my team and giving me your assessment, mate.
Be brutal, Mark.
First of all, defence looks OK. Goalkeeper Mendy's a good pick at 5 million. I do prefer Ramsdale at the same price, but that's fine.
I had 3 Arsenal, though, mate. I had 3 Arsenal. That's my problem. I've got Zinchenko and Martinelli on the bench. But that's what I wanted to say. What should my starting 11 be as well? Because I'm struggling with that.
Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes, I'll probably take him out. Someone like Neto or even Bailey. You've got Bailey in there, so maybe a Neto instead of Bruno Guimaraes. Save yourself 0.5. Front 3 looks great. Captain Son looks good against Southampton as well. So yeah, that's a strong 11.
Would you put Salah in there though, Mark, Holly, instead of Son? I'm struggling. That's one of the things I'm battling with. Whether to, you say I could take Bruno Guimaraes out, I could take Son out, I could find a spot for Salah and get a cheaper midfielder. Should I do it? That's my big dilemma at the minute.
Yeah, Mo Salah's got to be the first name on your team sheet. I mean, he's going to be very highly captained this week as well, and deservedly so. He scored in every single game week 1 fixtures for Liverpool over the last 5 seasons, so it would be too scary for me to go without him in game week 1 this season.
I'm going to be at St James's Park tomorrow as well. I can't take Bruno out because he's so good, right? I mean, if anyone, you might have heard of him last season, he's going to score ridiculous points this season, so I've got to be true to Bruno Gimmer. I just can't take him out, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my issue is with you're looking for a point of difference always, because you know that Salah's going to be in there, and we hear what Holly's had to say, but surely, give me one player who's going to give his point of difference this year. Where's my gamble?
It's hard to. It's surprising to call him a gamble, but Kevin De Bruyne is not in very many teams because most people have Salah, Kane, or Haaland. So if you want to go Kevin De Bruyne and maybe even captain him, that could be a nice differential.
Great stuff. Guys, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. That was our first episode of this. It's going to be a regular feature. You're going to see a lot of it. You're going to see him drop down the leagues. See you soon.
Drop my phone.